She asked if I was alone. I knew right then it was bad. She told me it was stage 1 breast cancer. She assured me it was treatable and curable.
In March of 2014, 6 months before the phone call which changed her life, Karen Tinker went in for her annual mammogram. Doctors found what they thought was a cyst. They wanted to watch it and told her to come back in 6 months.
My recommendation is you don't do that. You take your health in your own hands and you say, no, I do not want to wait. I want a biopsy. I wish I had done that. Not that the results would have been any different, but it could have been.
In September, the doctors told her the mass had doubled in size and was solid.
They so reassured me. It's nothing. It looks like it's nothing. Even through the biopsy, the doctor was saying, I've seen this before. This is just a cyst. This is nothing. I was so confident that it was nothing.
2 days later, she got the call.
My first thoughts, will I see my grandkids grow up? Who will take care of Fred? Will I lose my hair? Oh my God, why?
Later that week, Karen had surgery to have the mass removed. She was scheduled to go through 6 chemo treatments, which went through the holidays.
I looked at Fred and I said, I can't believe I Christmas shopped, wrapped, got food together through the holidays and chemo too.
21 days after starting chemo, her hair started to fall out.
I was in the shower and I actually pulled and a clump came out. And I started crying and screaming and Fred ran in and I said, oh my gosh, my hands were just full of hair. And he said, well, it's time, it's time to get this taken care of.
Karen got her head shaved and started wearing a wig.
When we walked outside, I thought, oh, everyone is going to know this. They're going to look at me and everyone's going to be staring at me because I have a wig on. Oh my goodness, don't flatter yourself. No one even knows.
During her 4th treatment, her oncologist came into the chemo room.
She said, I've got your file, I reviewed it with the other doctors, and this is your last treatment. The nurse that was unhooking me, she said, do you want to ring the bell? And I said, of course, so they bring out a big cowbell, and I just, I really shook it. But I looked around at the other chemo patients, and I was sad. I was sad for them. But I know they'll be fine. But I just said a prayer for all of them that, soon it would be their last treatment and they would get to ring the bell.
Karen then went through radiation, and after 33 days, she got to ring the bell again.
I'm cancer-free. Praise God.
While Karen faced the battle of a lifetime, it helped her realize just how important it is to cherish every moment.
If I can be a help to someone else, that's why I started my journal, because I thought that if someone comes to me and says, I have this, how was it for you? I can tell them, that this is what I went through.
Two pictures sit in Dina Blakely's office. One is a woman who may have saved her life. The other is the man who helped her fight for her life.
I've always said it's not if you get cancer, it's when you get cancer.
Blakely considers herself lucky.
Because when I was diagnosed, I knew it was coming.
Her mother was diagnosed at its earliest stages in 1979. Her sister was diagnosed at stage 4 in 2005. Her sister's diagnosis prompted Blakely to get regular mammograms. Her result always came back normal until the day after her 40th birthday.
I got a phone call from Dina on my cell phone, and she said, they found something on my mammogram. I think I got cancer, and she hung up the phone. And I'm like, what?
He was able to get a hold of me, and I'm like, okay, this is what's going on. I have to do a biopsy next week. And he went with me to the biopsy, and from then on, It was a joint venture.
Blakely also considers herself lucky because her husband helped with the healing.
I had somebody in my corner as my support team, making me laugh, making me get up and do what I needed to do.
We just decided that life is too short to take for granted, and that you could wake up tomorrow and your partner be gone.
Thanks to early detection and immediate treatment, Blakely was able to get through all of her cancer treatments in about 4 months. She is cancer-free today. Blakely was the keynote speaker at the Montauk County Relay for Life in 2011, the year she was diagnosed. She's taken part in the relay every year ever since. Blakely and her husband have advice for all adults.
Always, always, always get your mammograms.
Be supportive of your wife. Even if they're not diagnosed, just be supportive of them to get the screening, to get the testing, to be checked. Cancer doesn't pick and choose. I mean, it takes who it wants.
Reporting for KRCG 13, I'm Asha Zavala.
Suzanne Tillinger and Jackie Verdon had one brief encounter, but little did they know that 1 year later their paths would cross again.
Our friend in common called us and she said, "You're not going to believe it, Jackie, but Suzanne was diagnosed with breast cancer 3 days ago. I was just diagnosed that day."
They both found out in March 2005.
My family is really healthy for the most part, so it was very shocking to get that news.
I went in and 3 hours later, they told me I had breast cancer.
Their treatment at Missouri Cancer Associates started up fast after they were both diagnosed.
I would go visit you on your day of chemo, and she would come visit me on my day of chemo, because it's you're there for quite some hours, and it can be pretty depressing.
But both decided to remain optimistic.
We had fun. We really did. We just had fun.
Jackie wanted to make it a party, even when they shaved their heads.
We had a hair cutting party, of course, with drinks and friends.
Jackie's not the only close friend Suzanne made during cancer. She also met Juanita.
We just developed a really strong friendship that now, even though Juanita's gone, her mother and father and I have developed a really strong relationship, and they are now grandparents to my kids.
I lost a daughter, but in the end, I gained another daughter with Suzanne.
I can't help but just think that cancer is one of the best things that's happened to me.
This diagnosis started out as a tragedy, but strengthened their bonds of friendship.
There's something different when you have a friend that's experienced what you've experienced. Just going through that together and just rising above that and not letting that define us.
In Columbia, Emily Thornburg, KRCG 13.